they plotted, schemed, and seized rare jewelry worth 10 million United Arab Emirates dirhams. Yet the law remains silent and does not investigate the incident. I wonder, what is the reason for this? Let's follow the details. We often hear in some countries, especially Arab countries, that no one is above the law, and this slogan is especially adhered to by the Gulf Arab states. As a citizen and resident of one of the Gulf Arab countries, at least in my country of the Kingdom of Bahrain, I have never encountered any obstacles or heard of anyone not receiving their rights, as the law is applied to everyone without exception. It is also difficult to offer bribes because the country is small and everyone is known, and the most important factor is the self-respect that the Bahraini citizen possesses. However, I was shocked when I confronted the law enforcers in a neighboring country, where the law does not apply to everyone, and there are those who have become above the law, and this is what happened to me personally. I am a Bahraini citizen and a businessman in the field of gold and rare jewelry, such as diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and especially the unique Bahraini natural pearl. I met some Emirati citizens, which was a lesson for me and my family to understand how those who lack self-confidence think. My relationship with them developed, and we became like a family. They offered me to organize jewelry exhibitions in the United Arab Emirates, in the city of Al Ain. The offer was from an Emirati citizen and her brother, and I welcomed the idea without realizing their malicious intentions. As my wife works with me as a jewelry designer, and this family's appearance suggests their high standing, I did not suspect that their intentions were malicious. Therefore, I entrusted them with precious diamond jewelry, rare gemstones, and natural Bahraini pearls, valued at more than 10 million Emirati dirhams. I handed them over to the Emirati citizen and her brother, with full confidence, not imagining that I would see the true face of a gang that specializes in fraud, deception, and money laundering, as will be mentioned. I began my journey to reclaim my jewelry or its value from that gang, after it was revealed to me that they were a professional gang and that they had scammed many people, as they had scammed governments and businessmen from different countries. Therefore, I demanded that they return all my jewelry immediately. Over time, as I kept demanding my rights to have the jewelry returned or its value of more than 10 million Emirati dirhams, I requested written guarantees to ensure the financial value of my jewelry, as I learned that they had already disposed of all my jewelry. I insisted that they pay me the full value of the jewelry. The gangster's lady then issued some checks for a small portion of the stolen jewelry's value, with the promise to pay the rest of the 10 million dirhams soon. However, the gangster's lady and her brother started delaying the payment of my full entitlement. Brazenly, they offered me to work with them in scams, fraud, and money laundering so that I could fully recover my rights. I informed them of my intention to file a complaint against them with the police and the judiciary. They then threatened me that if I filed a complaint, they would fabricate malicious cases against me, my wife, and my family, both old and new. They claimed to have authority and influence in the UAE, being above the law and the police, as the gangster's husband is a senior police officer and a candidate to become the Minister of Interior. The gangster's lady continued to tempt me with verbal enticements, but I refused, as she wanted to trap me into forgetting my rights. She even threatened to accuse me of assaulting her and attempting to rape her, or claim that she is mentally ill, all based on information provided to her by the police to get rid of any complaint I might file against her. Furthermore, the gangster's brother threatened that if I filed a complaint, he would send someone to kill me, claiming he works for the Emirati intelligence and has the influence to do anything without punishment, even collaborating with Blackwater. A person visited me at the Ramada Hotel in the Emirate of Ayman, claiming to be a mentally unstable individual. He said he was a professional killer who could be hired to kill anyone. This was apparently an attempt to intimidate me and prevent me from reporting them or claiming my rights. I have exhausted all amicable means to retrieve my rights from them, but to no avail, as they always procrastinate and threaten. I deposited one of the checks that a gang leader had issued to me at the Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, but the check bounced due to insufficient funds. I tried to contact her by phone, but she threatened to physically eliminate me and my family. They also sent someone to threaten me at my residence in the UAE, so I had to leave the UAE immediately and return to Bahrain. They informed me that they have strong influence within the police and the Ministry of Interior in the UAE, and that they have cooperating officers within the police force. When I was leaving Dubai Airport, I informed the immigration police about the threat that occurred to me, but no one was able to take the matter seriously. I was afraid that they might fabricate schemes against me in the UAE, as I learned that her husband is a senior officer in the Abu Dhabi police. Therefore, I left the UAE to my country, the Kingdom of Bahrain, and upon my arrival, I started the following procedures. Several attempts have been made to reach out to the gang to recover the full value of my jewelry, but they have started to evade me. I reported the matter to the Abu Dhabi police by calling the Amman service on the number 800-2626 and provided them with all the details. They promised to file a case against the gang, but after several months of continuous follow-up, no action has been taken against them, not even summoning them to investigate the report. This confirms that they have influence within the police and that the law is not enforced against them. On April 5, 2023, during the month of Ramadan, I received a call on my mobile phone at 0:54 after midnight from an Emirati number. The person claimed to be a police officer and threatened to physically eliminate me and my family if I filed a complaint against them or demanded my rights. My family and I were terrified, and I immediately disconnected the call. My wife was in a state of panic and severe fear, and we lived in constant dread of death. He continued to call at different times daily, and I did not respond out of fear that he would know my location or anything else, as we lived in continuous terror. The Emirati police officer continued to call and threaten me with death, so on April 8, 2023, I filed a report in the police station in my home country of Bahrain against the Emirati police officer who was threatening me with murder. The report was also filed against the gang for fraud, deception, and death threats. The case was referred to the public prosecutor, and despite the continued threats, no action has been taken against them for months. I sent a message to the Honorable Minister of Interior through the Aramex company, but the message was not received and was returned. I appealed to the Ministry of Interior of the United Arab Emirates through my personal accounts on the X and Instagram platforms, where I called on everyone, including officials in the United Arab Emirates and the international community, to stand up for my case and protect me from being killed and to restore my rights. However, the law enforcement authorities in the United Arab Emirates have not taken any steps to investigate the gang, nor have they even summoned them, confirming that this gang is above the law. After all that, I hired a lawyer in the United Arab Emirates and a complaint petition was sent to the public prosecution in the city of Al Ain, UAE. However, I was surprised to find that the case was rejected by the public prosecution in Al Ain without any reason given, and they did not even consider the case, which raises several questions as to why and how. Up to this point, I am left helpless where the law does not even want to hear and attend to my case. This reminds me of the Saxony law that was put in place to protect the influential against the weak. Therefore, I appeal to every living conscience in this world to help me restore my rights. I appeal to the free world, those with living consciences, human rights activists and defenders against injustice. I appeal to all media outlets, free writers, and anyone who hears and sees my case to publish it and show solidarity with it. I call upon you all to stand with me to protect me and my family from being killed, and to investigate the Emirati police officer who threatened to kill me and terrorize me and my family, as we continue to live in constant fear and dread of his death threats and those of the gang. I appeal to you to fully restore my financial rights, estimated at 10 million Emirati dirhams, from the gang. As a human being, one must remain vigilant throughout life so that nothing affects or disrupts one's life. A person must safeguard their wealth, but sometimes a person can be deceived by some individuals who use all sorts of tricks and means to carry out fraud and scams. Some people come to you with a friendly face, proposing a partnership to develop and grow your project, but in reality, they are hiding the opposite of what they show, waiting for opportunities to steal money. This is what happened to me. The story continues, and the events are still ongoing.